Over the years, many Nigerian civil servants have struggled with rising rents as owning a home remains one of life's most challenging goals without a permanent place to call their own. However, in Abuja's Apo Tafi district, it could have changed the narrative through a housing estate under the federal government's Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program, FISH, designed to provide affordable homes for government workers seeking relief from the pressures of rent in Abuja. Nearly a decade ago, some civil servants committed their savings to the project, subscribing to plots of land, funding infrastructure, and even beginning construction, believing they were finally building a secure future for their families. But today, that dream is under threat. The estate has become the center of a growing land dispute that could determine whether dozens of civil servants can have their homes or lose them.
And they will arm them with guns. This is Engineer Nicholas Obedo, the MDCO Zefcan Home and Estates. We are one of the developers that is handling the FISH program, Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program for the Office of the Head of Service. And this was one of the allocation and one of the areas we apportioned for the project. And a groundbreaking ceremony was even done here when the former Minister of Works, Housing, and Head of Service were all here to see how we can create an affordable home for civil servants. When the course of the project, there were some lapses. Off-takers guarantee were not offered. So we suspended the project at a particular time, but the subscribers who felt that they don't need to waste much time because they will be retiring soon, opted to bid on their own. And that is how we got to this stage. And we submitted all the documents and all necessary information to the Office of the Head of Service. They even came here for the groundbreaking and even assisted us in the road project and infrastructure. They awarded infrastructure and road to this place, courtesy of our own efforts.
Engineer Nicholas Ogbedo says the development sits on about 150 hectares of land originally designated under the FISH program. Under the arrangement, private developers were expected to build homes while the government provided essential infrastructure to support the estate. But the situation took a dramatic turn last year. Ogbedo alleges that other developers moved into the area with fresh allocations reportedly issued by the Federal Capital Development Authority, claiming ownership of large portions of the same land. He also claims that survey beacons and some existing structures were destroyed during the dispute.
I want to be sure if he's alive, okay? So let's see where that thing ends. And for now, they came to demolish the buildings, demolish the infrastructure, and remove all the beacons on the site. And they're now claiming that it was being given to them by the office of the Honorable Minister, former Minister, the RFO. And that is not even the issue. They went ahead to claim that the Labriga, Urban and Regional Planning, Moses, and also URP staffs, senior management of URP, Bishiru and the Co, and Usman and Co, are part of the team that helped them to acquire the land. And as they speak now, that they have come to stay and they are bulldozing buildings and they don't want to stop. We came here last week, they armed them with guns. You can see 5 of them there with guns. Some of them are here with guns. That's why we opted to come with the police. And this case will be a test of judiciary. We're talking about affordability. But the question is this: must civil servants pay houses for 50 million naira? They're not selling it to our own clients for 50 million naira. That is the question. And now they claim that the minister is alive. So we'll test the judiciary and find out if actually the former minister gave this land. Because the former minister never agreed to sign any document before he left. He decided to not to sign any document because he didn't want to be called back. So how did those 70 hectares, 30 hectares, about all the districts allocated? Did the LOAC sit, Land Allocation Committee? Because previously, before you sit and allocate land, the LOAC will sit. PAMSEC, Minister, Head of Service, they will sit together. It's not like this present administration that one person can allocate land. So of FCT, and also the judiciary should also intervene and look at the situation whereby this land, if whatever document or whatever they're claiming, must be scrutinized and verified. And if there's any abuse of office, there should be arrests and prosecution of those involved. The office is involved and forgery. Because I've seen now that the date that the minister left office, it does not coincide with the RFO. So the former minister will tell us if there is a LOAC sitting. Then the second thing is that the Labriga that they claim to sign the document, assistant director, even last month, is no longer in that department. So those documents will be tested. Industry, two individuals, Solomon and Co. But not even men. We have gone to CAC. We have gone to CAC to do a search on that complaint, and we have discovered a lot of discrepancies in that complaint. Even we have to ask for their tax clearance and other things needed. But so far, we'll get there. Forensic analysis of the RFO. But that is not even the issue. Why are you taking over civil servant land individually? And road has been awarded, infrastructure has been awarded for them. Why do you want them to go and stay in Gwagwalada Baji? They cannot live in Apo. Now you're not giving it to selfish developers who are selling it for 50 million naira. Yes. You can see the building there. But Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, they have this area for their staffs. They came in here 2016-17. So you cannot come now and tell us that you backdated minister's signature and you acquired the land of 60 hectares for one person. Our property here is just minute. But presently, the company that claimed to have been the one responsible for fencing this whole place, without necessary information, we need to know more about the company. The Rosifeed industry of FCDA gave them necessary approvals and necessary information. So where the assistant director becomes the one signing, and the information about the director is that this information is given dated 2016. Cooking there, and I told